Friday, February 3rd, and my name is Bill McCamley. I'm a state representative from Las Cruces and Mesilla with your legislative update here at the end of this third week of the legislative session. So about three things happened today I wanted to talk to you about. The first is the latest, actually, in the afternoon, my committee, we passed a bill called the Innovations in Teaching Act, which would allow some teachers who wanted to try new curriculum, if they have some previously good ratings on their evaluations, to not be subject to testing. This was a bill that was passed unanimously by the House a couple of years ago. It was vetoed by the governor. This year in the first committee, it was actually carried by Andres Romero and Nathan Small, and it passed on a party line vote. So testing has always been a big issue for me. I think there's too much of it. 23% of New Mexican teachers churn over every year. That's the second highest in the nation. Obviously, teachers aren't happy, and we're sixth in the nation in terms of teachers that say testing is affecting my ability to stay in the teaching profession. If we don't provide a little bit more flexibility, I worry that teachers are going to continue to exit the profession, and it's going to hurt our public schools. Second thing I want to talk about was my friend Jacob Candelaria. He's a senator from Albuquerque, and he passed a bill outlawing conversion therapy. So apparently some religious groups, when children are homosexual, will send them to camps and try to convert them back to being straight. And I actually agree with Senator Candelaria on this. I think this is something you're born with. It's a natural thing, and how people choose to love one another should not be an item that in this America, I believe, we discriminate based on. So that passed to committee, and hopefully it keeps moving through. Excuse me. The last thing that I'd like to talk about is something that's pretty much drained me emotionally today, and that is this morning we spent 3 hours in a committee going over an aid in dying bill, which I am co-sponsoring. So what this bill states is that if you're terminally ill, over the age of 18, and want to decide that you want to end your life early because you have a painful illness, this bill would allow you to do so. And I've written about this. It's something that's I'm pretty known for, and something I went through personally with my dad, where he did make an end-of-life decision regarding his illness, and even though his wasn't painful, he was able to sign what is called an advance directive, stating that when he passed away, that he didn't want to be kept alive through artificial means. Now, Dad beat lung cancer a few years before that, and if that lung cancer would have been the reason for his illness, he would not have had that same opportunity. He would not have had the ability to plan and determine his own end-of-life decision with the grace and dignity that I think he treasured. And so I feel really, really strongly about this. They've had this program in Oregon for 20 years. It's worked. I've never cried in the legislature before, and I did today. It was really hard telling a couple hundred people about my father and what it meant to him and what it meant to me, and then listening to another 2 hours of testimony from people who were in similar situations, and that's what we heard. But people really felt the need to tell their story, and I'm glad they had the opportunity to do so. It passed on a party line vote. It was 4-3, Democrats, Republicans. It'll pass on to another committee, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, and we'll see what happens when it hits the floor. Sorry, it's hard for me to talk about, but it's important. Anyways, as always, if you have questions, comments, or concerns with these or any other issues, I'd be happy to hear from you. And tomorrow, I'll have a report on 2 bills that are going through the legislature as well: gun safety, which I am not sponsoring, but cannabis legalization, which I am. And I'll talk to you tomorrow when those are done. Thanks, everybody. Bye.